The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the August 18th, the magical Monday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, means we can find the gift in every set of circumstances that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this, during this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off to Steve at TFNN.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Magical Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we've got a bit of a mixed bag out there. You've got the Dow that is up 5 points. The S&P's off 1. NASDAQ 100 down 24. Russell's up 7. Trading's up 50. Semi's up 16. NASDAQ Composites off 17. New York Stock Exchange up $19. We got silver that's trading up 9 cents, with gold being down $4 and light sweet crude up 7 pennies. So kind of a mixed bag and not a whole lot really going on. We've got the XLY up on our screen. The reason is we've got the daily TD9 count signals to this consumer discretionary area. What you can see is on the daily time frame on Friday, not only did we generate bar number 8, and today bar number 9 will complete. A TD9 count will form as long as price, TD9 count top, I should say, will form as long as price closes above 226.74. But either way, you've got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top that formed on Friday. All right, so that's the daily time frame. Now, what we can also see is that there's a new profile that is formed this morning. This new profile is below price, is below its oscillator and change line. The first target to the downside, and that TD9 count top will not complete until tomorrow, should be the oscillator and change line. Presently printing out at 227 and change, 227.90 to be specific. The profile is below price. Now, this profile will be confirmed this evening, 226.27. Typically, the profiles that form on ETFs such as the XLY are pretty solid. So the interesting thing about this profile is that it is forming below price. That's a bullish message out there. Doesn't mean that price can't get back to test areas of that profile. 226.27 is the top of that profile, but that is a bullish message for the consumer discretionary area. If we take a look at the weekly time frame chart, the weekly has rallied all the way up into its TD9 count breakdown resistance level, 228.92. The actual close last week was at 229.04. So we closed just slightly above. We're trading slightly above it again. We're trading into its TD9 count swing point from December 20th, 2024. And there were 27 million shares that traded that month, that week. Last week, we closed inside it with 26 million. So 26 was going into 27, similar volume, so we'll cut a little bit of slack there. As long as price remains inside the XLY, that is that swing point, it may make a run for that high. I do not have any kind of a topping pattern out here for the weekly other than the original TD9 count that it is traded into. So in essence, it still retains that TD9 count topping status. On a monthly time frame, we have price traded into a swing point that formed in December. Volume there was 73 million shares. We're on the 18th, and we are at a volume of 67 million shares. So price is pushing into that swing point with volume. A close inside that swing point would suggest at least a run for its high. The high of that swing point is at 240.28. So how do you put all this together? By the way, you got a 30-minute time frame chart that is a TD9 count bottom, price running up into the sell zone on that 30-minute time frame. That sell zone is between 229.63 and 280.19 out there. Now, how do we put all this together? What I would say is the monthly is saying I want to go ahead and test the swing high. So let's believe that. The weekly says I've crossed through. I'm now trading into that swing point, albeit on lighter volume, but I'm above the TD9 count breakdown resistance level. I think we're looking at maybe just a couple-day retracement here in the XLY once it completes this TD9 count pattern out there. As far as other signals, we had talked about the euro, the Great British Pound. Great British Pound completed a TD9 count top on Friday. Today's going to be the bar following bar number 9. It was actually the Thursday's high that was the high of the pattern out there. Now, what price should do is pull back towards the Sasser and change line. That's currently printed about $1.34 out there. That is the Great British Pound. I did notice that the NASDAQ, let's go for the technology sector, actually. So on a weekly time frame, it looks like this week we'll go ahead and generate a TD9 count bar, but let's go find out about that just to make sure. So in order for a weekly TD9 count bottom topping pattern to form, this is probably important. So important for us to take a look at the XLK. Let's open this up. Let's slide this back just a tad. You'll see bar number 8 took place last week. Bar number 9 will complete this week, but it will only complete or confirm a TD9 count top with a close above 261.99 on Friday. We're 265. So this says that if we're going to get a TD9 count top on the XLK, there's not going to be a ton of movement throughout the week here. So maybe something to be paying attention to out there to go along with, by the way, on Friday, what the XLK did was generate a bear sash candle that confirmed the Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. This suggests what the XLK may want to do is test its buy zone between 262.67 and 263.73. The 30-minute time frame chart suggests that price should move lower out there, with its next downside target being 263.97. Monthly time frame is in bullish mode out there. So it's really the daily and the weekly. So again, I would take a look at this now. Maybe we get a 2-week pullback out here inside of the XLK, 2 to 4 week pullback out there. But longer term, things still look very good out there. You've got NVIDIA that's got a weekly TD9 count pattern. Let's go ahead and pull that chart up on our screen. In fact, what we'll do is after in a bit, we're going to, when we take a look at some requests, there's only a couple that have come in actually, as we'll look at some of the intraday stuff on NVIDIA. But here on the weekly, you can see bar number 8 formed last week. That's the high of the pattern. And if we get a close this week above 173.50, you'll have a weekly TD9 count pattern that's in place that will complete on the next Friday. Now, on a 30-minute time frame, you've got a TD9 count top out there, price likely to pull back to test support. I would say that first support level about 180.56 out there. But we'll come back to NVIDIA. Just looking to see if there's anything else out here. Kinross Gold. Did we take a look at that last week? On a monthly basis, KGC is the ticker symbol. We've got a TD9 count. So does Palantir. KGC has got a TD9 count for its monthly time frame. That's the bottom left out there. That'll populate here momentarily. Now, you're in bar number 9 right now. So that says you could get a high between this month and next month out there. And when we come back to this break, we'll finish looking at Kinross Gold.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Mixed Bag Monday is what we've got going on here, although we did, for the most part. We were taking a look at Ken Ross Gold before we went to the breakout there, and what we first attracted us to us was the monthly TD9 count top that is going to go ahead and form this month. It'll complete next month. We look at the daily time frame. We've got a TD9 count top out here, as well as a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, both those forming on August 13th. That makes its high the key level out there, which is 1945. If price closed above that on a daily time frame, it would negate both those signals and suggest that we have a further rally. But otherwise, we've got a top on the daily, a top that is forming on the monthly. The 30-minute time frame chart actually has a TD9 count top as well. It was tested at 10 a.m. Price looks like it wants to pull back to its buy zone on that 30-minute time frame. That's between 1903 and 1907. I don't think there was any other items of interest, so to speak, just yet. We take a look at those. Oh, by the way, let's send out our congrats. We got a new tigress in the family out there. Congrats to Brent and his beautiful wife, Leanne, who brought in a new grandchild, new granddaughter, Francisca Marie, into the world. So that is a beautiful thing. So our congrats to Brent and all of his family out there. So that's always a wonderful thing to share. Let's go to our first request that came in, which was from Tom G. He wants to trade really 2 instruments out here, so we'll take a look at both. He's looking for an entry area. We know that Tom is more of a short-term type trader out there, so let's take a look at I've got NVIDIA. You wanted RGTI and NVIDIA. I've got NVIDIA up on my screen, so let's take a look at that one first. Now, here, with this set of charts, we've got longer-term and intraday, so the monthly time frame for NVIDIA is in a bullish breakout mode, so no problems there. The problem comes with regard to the weekly time frame chart, which will go ahead and form a TD9 count topping pattern for the weekly time frame where they close on Friday above 173.50. Remember, that pattern can complete then next week, but we are setting up for a top on a weekly time frame for NVIDIA. The daily already has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. It has been trading sideways ever since it formed that on July 31st out there, so nothing more than right now a sideways-ish consolidation. The 195-minute chart, Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. It closed below 178.34 ought to get us to 174.61, maybe even 171.30 out there. We've got a TD9 count top on the 130-minute time frame, TD9 count top on the 65-minute time frame, the same for the 30-minute time frame. So Tom is looking for an entry point in here. You know, Tom, with that weekly top and that daily top, you might want to start considering trading NVIDIA to the downside and not to the upside out here. So you're looking for another entry point. I would rather wait at this stage here and see if we start seeing some key levels of support break, or some bottom patterns break. And your question is going to be, well, where's that going to be first? So I'd say the 130-minute time frame chart, right? We've got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, a TD9 count top. Price pulled back to test the sell zone of its session, of its profile, that is, but also traded above the breakout level. So let's do this. I'm going to pull the 130-minute time frame chart over on my screen here, Tom. And so you're looking for an entry point. You're going to use the 130-minute time frame chart for either an entry point or the proof of the pudding that NVIDIA is getting ready to crack and move to the downside. We can see that the red horizontal lines out here represent TD9 count breakout levels established going back. Well, in this case here, this takes us back into the January. So we got basically the entire year out here. But once we bottomed out here back in the April 22nd time frame, those levels, those breakout levels, nothing has failed. We got down close to this back on the trading day of or at 11:40. That was 11:40 on Friday out there, the 14th. Thursday or Friday? Thursday. So I'd be watching 177.66 for both sides of that trade, Tom. With regard to trying to do something more from an intraday standpoint, I don't know. I'd watch that 30-minute TD9 count topping pattern right now. At a minimum, it should pull back to test 180.56, and if it gets below that, likely 178.83 out there. All right, so Eddie's listening to NVIDIA. Let's see, what does he write in? NVIDIA report earnings on August 27th, wondering how it fits with your analysis. And so with regard to it being the 27th, today's the 18th out there, that would be next Wednesday, right? I think it's that weekly TD9 count pattern out there. But remember, the monthly at this stage of the game, less than monthly, Eddie, less than monthly, Tom G, everybody else out there, unless that generates a bearish reversal candle, longer term, it still looks good out here. And that's what we're really seeing with regard to a lot of the indices, a lot of stocks and so forth. So I think that's just fitting into the potential for the TD9 count. Now, the fact that earnings are next week, you still have to let NVIDIA form that weekly TD9 count top, but it seems like a likely outcome. NVIDIA would need quite a pullback. Would need to pull back this week and close below 172.41 to negate that whole weekly pattern out there. And the last TD9 count pattern that formed out here, by the way, that completed on the week of June 27th. And that was negated the very next week out there. So nice, strong momentum moves out here inside of NVIDIA. So let's not just sell. I was just talking to Tom G there, Eddie, who's much more of an intraday trader out there, and maybe these trades in NVIDIA right now from a shorter term standpoint are really to the downside. So hopefully I've clarified that. We're also going to look at RGTI. My recollection here was this was a good looking set of charts out here for its longer term time frame as well. But let's confirm that. Now on Friday, what RGTI did, Tom, was it generated a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. It was that bear sash candle. We're now back inside its daily profile. So without even looking at the other intraday charts out there, the entry point for you in taking a long intraday type trade is when price gets back to its buy zone. And that's between 1527 and 1580 out there. Now back to the monthly time frame. Monthly time frame, we're trading inside a swing point that has volume of 3.7 billion shares. Last month we closed inside with only 1 billion shares out there, so we're a little bit light in the loafers. This month we're only 483, but nonetheless we're still inside that swing point. This is suggesting a rally towards 2142. Not getting any kind of a topping signal at this stage here for the weekly time frame. Price is trading inside its weekly swing point that has volume of 714 million shares. Last week, 268. So Rigatoni, that's what I just call it, is headed higher. It's trading above profile resistance. It's also there in change line on the weekly, but it doesn't have the OOP, doesn't have the volume. But no topping patterns there, just on the daily. So you got to focus on the daily. With regard to intraday charts, the 195-minute has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. It's traded into its buy zone so far, which is held 1575 to 1628. TD9 count top on the 130-minute chart. Consolidation inside its profile. Nothing of value for us on the 65-minute. Nothing really of value on the 30 either. So what are you going to do here with the RGTI? I like this better than the intraday trades on NVIDIA for you, Tom. But the daily really needs to kind of resolve itself for us. So 1527 to 1580. That's what Stevie's got to go with at this moment in time. Hope that helps you out. Always good to hear from you. When we come back from this break, we're going to go take a look at Oscar for Nitram inside the Tigers Den, and SoFi for Fletch, who's looking to add to his position. Sorry about that, Fletch. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go take a look at Oscar Health, which is feeling very healthy this morning as it takes out a daily swing point to confirm an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. That's the left-hand panel chart. On the trading day of August 11th, what OSCR did was generated volume of 19.7 million shares. Today we are trading above that high, by the way, that high, and we need to close above that high today to confirm this A to B equals CD pattern. 1626 is the number. We're at 1652. Again, that volume was 19 million shares. We're already at 17 million shares. So you got the volume. The 1-to-1 A to B equals CD ought to get us up towards 1764 to 1817. The latter being the TD9 count breakdown resistance level. At 1818, we have a weekly profile resistance area out there. So odds favor, you're going to run into some resistance, or at least certainly a battle right around that 1817, 1818 area, and that's what price is gunning for. If it could clear that, and it may clear that because retracement, that B to C leg retracement was less than a 0.618 retracement, most certainly, and so you could do more than a 1-to-1. But if price can clear the TD9 count breakdown resistance, then you're going to be back inside this gap to the downside. The gap to the downside had volume on a daily time frame of 77 million shares, but nonetheless, you'd still be inside it, and because you'd be above profile on the weekly and above resistance on the daily, you could get all the way up there. Now, 1972 would be the next resistance level on the monthly. The bottom of the gap is at 2024 out there, so that would be your price targets to the upside for OSCR. Things look hunky-dory as we speak right now. So, Nitram, hope that you're inside that. Stay inside of Oscar. Let's go take a look at SoFi for Fletch, see if we can identify any areas here to add to a position. So SoFi, if we start off with the monthly time frame, just to get a big picture view, looks muy bueno. No topping pattern, so we're off. So that looks bullish. The weekly time frame looks very bullish right now. You'll see that bar number 8 formed last week, but it's bar number 6 that's the high of the pattern. And as long as we don't take out that high this week or next week, that high being, and when I say take it out, I just mean one tick above 2511. If we tick above it, we will trigger a TD9 count topping pattern out there. So Fletch, what you're looking for, you'd like to add to your position. You really don't want to see this rally much this week, and you've got a weekly profile to assist with that, and a daily profile. The top of the weekly profile is at 24 even Steven. The top of the daily profile is at 24.15. Now the daily's got a Rhodes momentum indicator top that took price right back to its buy zone, and we're trading above the top of its profile. So that pattern may have already done its work to the downside, but we just got a consolidation right now inside its profile. A wonderful place to add, if price could pull back to that level, would be its daily buy zone, Fletch, and that's between 21.37 and 21.72. You'll see a 195-minute TD9 count pattern that's led to a consolidation with inside of profile. 30-minute TD9 count top. We did see price trade below bottom of its profile, but we got back inside there. And then on that last 30-minute bar, the one at 11:30, we found resistance at the top of the profile, 23.92. 15-minute TD9 count top. So enough signals here that SoFi could be getting ready for a pullback, and with that 21.37, 21.72 area being a likely spot. We didn't have so many different TD9s out here. Maybe we'd come up with something different, but I think you've got to just pay attention to those intraday charts, Fletch, or watch the 30-minute, because the close below 23.66 for 2 consecutive bars ought to bring 23.01 into the picture. Still doesn't get us back to the daily buy zone out there, but you just have to see what's going on at that point in time. So hope that helps you out, as always, and thanks so much for your requests. Let's go take a look at ServiceNow, NOW. This is from Mohammed. So let's pull that chart up here. Let's look at the daily, the weekly, and the monthly out there. Well, we didn't get to that. Let's try it one more time. Drum roll, please, Johnny. Oh, saw a great concert last night. Saw Alexander Zanzek. Probably not too many people in the audience, if anybody actually knows of the guy. First time I came across Alexander was in the late 70s. I believe was probably 76, I would think, 76, 77. The interesting thing is I didn't know this until last night, but he was in a band that Kenny G was also. He called him something else. Was also a part of, but he was playing with Jeff Lorber. And Jeff Lorber's I first ran or became aware of Jeff back in the same time frame. Not really putting the two together, quite frankly. And but what a great, he's a flautist, Alexander Zonzik. But as you know, that's a. To suggest that he has command of that instrument is an understatement, and just beautiful, wonderful music. You know, Stevie loves music. Let's go take a look at the music of now, Service Now out here, which did put in a TD9 count bottom, Mohammed. Price right now is trading inside its bullish structured profile. It's trading above the center of that profile level, which is 857.94. We want to get a move up to 893.76, the top of its daily profile. Now, the weekly profile, prices basically found support at the top of that profile, 870.94. You want to see continued closes above that level. If you do, what it may be signaling is if we can get above 893.76, we head up towards 942.46. 942.46 is the weekly oscillator and change line. We have a consolidation with inside the monthly profile out there. The work to the downside, it may have been a sell the D point top out here. That's what it looks like to me. But the work to the downside may be done because price found support inside that bullish structured profile level. Now we're testing that level again, the level being between 776 and 869.89, coming from the monthly time frame chart. So let's try to summarize Service Now out here. It's really about the daily, Mohammed, and whether or not it can take out that 893.76. Two closes above that will be a daily profile change in trend, adding to your TD9 count bottom, and that would be suggesting up, and away. You also want to take a look at ticker symbol APO. So let's pull those charts up on our screen out here. APO right now is printing out at 139.91. You got a bit of a bounce as we see right now this morning, but trading inside its daily profile. So as I look at this out here, we're trading into its daily swing point from August the 1st. That daily swing point had volume of 4.5 million shares. We closed into it with 5.2 back on August 7th, increasing the odds that we would get down and test the low. We closed in it with 5.5. That was 5.5 versus 4.5. Another signal last week, or yesterday, or Friday, I should say, 3.1 million shares going into a little bit later, 4.5, a little bit lighter volume. We're still inside that swing point out here. So, Mohammed, as long as we trade inside that, you could get down to test that low, being 135.67. But realize you've got support, daily support, profile support at 137.30. We'll finish looking at APO when we get back from this break.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pros pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We're looking at ticker symbol APO. That's Apollo Global Management for Mohammed out here. We were looking at the daily time frame chart as we went to the break. Now, I noticed here that we had a 3-day move to the downside. So it looks like we're in the process of getting maybe a 1 to 3 day type rally. The last 2 rallies have been 3 days out there, so I'd watch for that. But because we still are inside this swing point from August 1st with volume, just increase the odds that we're moving lower with the weekly being below. Also trading with inside its profile being below profile resistance and its oscillator and change line. That can add to a move lower. We know that the monthly time frame chart last month, this month, has found resistance at its oscillator and change line. So all those things are pointing, Mohammed, that we might see lower price in APO before we see higher price. This did generate a buy the D point, a bottom pattern for a Gartley buy pattern on its daily time frame when it generated that bull sash candle on August the 4th. But, you know, all that led to, as you can see, is a consolidation with inside its daily profile. That's between 137.30 up to 152 even Steven. So I hope that helps you out. And as always, thanks for your request. We had a request from John in Milwaukee to take a look at the yearly and quarterly chart. So I can look at the yearly chart real easily for CAR. I had to pull this out. There's a lot of data in here. So your question is, you know, how's the yearly chart looking out here? And this is only really traded since 2020, so it's not like we have a ton of data out here. But we're trading inside of last year's, or we're trading below last year's high out there, or close, I should say. So the yearly chart really not offering you a ton out there, John. Nothing that I would hang my hat on. Now, on a monthly time frame out here, this did form both a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top and a TD9 count top back in October of 2024. But it looks to me like that work to the downside was complete. Why? Because price got back into its buy zone. That was between 59.33 and 62.33. It did that in April of 2025. As price rallied out of that, it did still find resistance at that TD9 count top swing point from October of 2024. It didn't test the high. That swing point had 85 million shares. We tested and we rejected it with 119 million shares. That said we should be back up. We were 91 million shares, again going into 75. We should be back up, which we are, and we did. And then we have the month of July. 106 million shares. We should be up. We're still inside that swing point. We haven't tested that this month, I don't believe. The low, we definitely have not. So at some point in time, this is saying that car should make another run for that swing point. It keeps testing it with some volume out there. But at this moment in time, we have a second potential 2 to 4 week move to the downside out here as we get inside his profile. I would say that where Carr is headed to, John, is more likely it's a test that monthly buy zone again between 59.33 and 62.33. And the reason to suggest that is because on the weekly time frame, we are trading below profile support and a screen oscillator and change line. So it's lost momentum and it's lost support. The daily time frame out here, let's open this up. CARR out here. CARR formed a TD9 count bottom pattern on August the 11th out there. And that has only led to a sideways move. In order for CAR to get any real upside traction, what you're going to need to see here, John, is at least a close above its oscillator and change line. At the moment, that's printing out at 66.71-ish. So if you get a close above that, then you ought to see a rally towards 70.19. So yearly's not helping us. Monthly is suggesting maybe I get back to that buy area because we're below weekly profile support. It got a daily TD9 count, but it hasn't really done a whole lot out there. John, that's what we have when we take a look at. Now, let me see if I can do this for you. Why not? We only have one other request out here that I see at this point in time. So let's take this. Well, let me see, how does Stevie do this? I would do, it's going to be too complicated because then I got to do with the bottom as well. So I'm not going to be able to give you the quarterly, but hopefully the yearly, the monthly, the weekly, and the daily, provided with the information that you were looking for. David in Panama City wants to get into it. INTU is the ticker symbol out there. Let's see if I can find out where I put it. So far, first guess was wrong. Second guess on the money out there. We take a look at Intuit. It's got a nice TD9 count daily bottom out there. David noted that. You're trading inside a profile that had formed last Thursday, David. So price ought to make its way to 727. Let me see what your question was. Does it look like Intuit is headed to fill the gap down to 670? No? Oh, no, I don't see that. So what David is asking is, will price get down? So this had gapped up on the trading day of May 23rd. There was 5.3 million shares. The low of that gap, which is the high of the prior day session, 670.56. His question is, will price get back to 670? I would have to say the answer to that question is now no. And the reason it's now no is because we have a completed TD9 count bottom with price trading with inside that profile. If, in fact, price closed below that TD9 count bottom, 699.06, the answer to that question would be yes. But on a daily time frame right now, we're getting a signal that a bottom is in. Let's see if we can figure out how solid that bottom is. Since the weekly time frame chart has a Rhodes momentum indicator top, David, price closed below its bullish structured weekly profile buy zone last week. What we don't know is will it close below it again this week. You need a nice rally out there. We know that we should get to 727, but you want to get back to at least 737.96. So the way to get there is if price is able to take out it's the top of its profile on its daily time frame, it'll then start gunning. The TD9 count pattern will start gunning for its oscillator and change line, and that'll get us up in that 737. Does it do it by Friday? No clue whether that unfolds out there. But it does look like it wants to move higher. Today would only be day number 2 to the upside, so no problem there in continuing to make a nice run. The monthly time frame chart is showing a Rhodes momentum indicator top as we speak. That's a 3-river evening star candle formation. It's only the 18th, so I don't know if that will form. What price is doing, it is trading just below its breakout level, so it's pulled back to an area of support. Now, this could be month number 2 to the downside. Month number 2 to the downside usually, not always, but usually generates a bottom. So you'd be looking for a bottoming signal from the weekly. We already have one from the monthly out there. But your question, will it get lower? I'd have to say the answer to that, David, is no, and that is primarily because of the daily TD9 count bottom. I hope that helps you out with your trade or gives you information at least that you were looking for. So thanks for taking the time to write in. No other requests that I see at this moment in time. So we haven't looked at the intraday stuff, have we? Did we? I don't remember if we did. But let's go over here, take a look at some of the day trading. Here's the NQ charts. Let's pull these up on our screen. Just we got a break that we're going to in about 20 seconds or so. And so the bottom panel of intraday charts, you've got a 60-minute TD9 count bottom pattern. That would be negated with a close below 23,735. It's got resistance, which has been tested and rejected, up at 23,823. A lot of jostling back and forth. You got a 30-minute Rhodes momentum indicator bottom. Resistance 23,815 out there. Resistance on the 15-minute at 23,778. Lots of upside resistance. I'm noticing on the 4-hour and the 2-hour NQ chart, notice how the oscillator and change line is now starting to act as resistance. Kind of an indication that we should head lower. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested tech.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out, like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. A couple of quick requests that have come in. Nitram wants to take a look at Red Cat Holdings, Inc. RCAT is a ticker symbol. It is trading above the top of its daily profile. Top of that profile is 877. It's trading into a little junior swing point from back on August 5th. That had volume there of 17 million shares. You're into it today with 5.4 million shares. So similar to lighter volume. Nonetheless, you're above profile resistance. This should go tackle 947. That's the daily oscillator and change line. Price has been below it ever since basically the last 4 or 5 days, August the 7th out there. If price can close above that, you ought to get up to 1032 out there. That's what I see with regard to RCAT. We're going to go take Eli Lilly for ELO inside the Tiger's Den. That's not it. That was SoFi. Let's see if we get to the Eli Lilly charts. This should be it here. LLY is that ticker symbol. Trading out right now at 699.74 with inside its monthly profile levels. That's at support at 682.99, a sell zone 804 to 844. It's got a T9 count top. On its weekly time frame, no kind of bottom out here that I see, likely to head lower. Daily time frame says head lower. What are you talking about, Steve-O? This is day number 3 above the top of its profile. That is a true statement. So perhaps what Eli Lilly wants to do here is make a run in this instance to close that gap. In order to do that, it would rally up towards 740.10 out there. 740.19. 740.19 would be likely where this is headed to. So what's stopping it? Really nothing. Yeah, so I'd have to say that, more likely than not, you're going to get Bryce out there, ELO, that's rallying to close that gap on that daily time frame. So hope that helps you out. Hope that helps everybody out. Stay tuned for all the great programming. I will look forward to being back with you this afternoon with Tommy at about 3:15 or so. And then beyond that, I'll be back with you at 11 a.m. sharp. So have a magical Monday. Thanks for all your assistance today. Hey, congrats to Brent and Leanne on their newest granddaughter out there. That's a beautiful thing. Have a great day, folks. We'll see you soon.